been a sense of urgency with regards to the leadership or the constitutional leadership of the Legislature Independent Electoral Commission.
Yeah.
Let's ask, what's your view with the present composition?
I must be very sincere that having experienced local government election in Lagos for a long time now, and experienced it, as an officer in my party, and as a chairman at this time, I am likewise also disappointed again as the state in which they are. Not because they don't have commissioners and whoever is in charge, it's because as usual, there's no preparation on the part of LASIEC. LASIEC seems not to know what they are doing. They called a lot of meetings with political parties. It was just wishy-washy and no, there was no concrete step that we are ready to do this. INEC said they will start giving another voters card again, first quarter of the year. February has almost ended, March is almost here, nothing. So it's basically we are just going into the election again with ill preparation and a lot of backwardness. There's no new idea. Okay, this is how we're going to do things differently again. It's just all there. So here we are.
Let me ask, this Justice Bola Gile-led commission itself was just recently sworn in by the Lagos State government.
Yeah.
Let me ask, will you say that commission led by Justice Gile is truly non-partisan, professional, and capable of managing this credible election?
Obviously not. Obviously not. Who commission and appoint a commissioner 3 months or 5 months to an election, and you expect that the person is going to be unbiased? If I'm not mistaken, Babaji Sanwo-Olu has appointed more than 3 for LASIEC since he became governor. More than. Last year, 1 was appointed. The year before there was another. So basically, there's no plan, there's no program on how these people are appointed, because these guys are actually civil service. There should be a program and way in which, it's time for this to retire, the next person. But no, it's just that, okay, we appoint you now, hold the fort for us. So we are not going to, Nigerians or Lagosians should not be expecting that they are not going to be biased towards the APC. In fact, we say it all the time that LASIEC and ICANN officials are basically just APC members.
Wow, that's serious. Now, there's been call for LASIEC to collaborate with civil society organizations and media, as well as the political parties themselves. Have there been regular engagements with the stakeholders at this point in time, including your party? So
what I would call the engagement is just, let's just do it so that we know that we have done it. Nothing concrete is being said, no concrete plan. Let me give an example. A judgment was passed by the Supreme Court giving a local government autonomy, strengthening the more through the 1999 Constitution, which will affect even the electoral process of LASIEC. Because what the summary of that Supreme Court judgment is that the LCDAs that LASIEC has been conducting election for years is null and void and illegal. So LASIEC should be pushing the State of Assembly, reminding them that you need to pass this new law, as has been stated by Supreme Court judgment, and remove all the illegal laws so that we can proper plan for the election. But LASIEC has not said anything. LASIEC is basically just waiting for APC to give them directive. That is why the APC chairman in Lagos 2 or 3 months ago was so confident to release a press statement stating that LCD election will hold. You can imagine, like it's the electoral umpire. And LASIEC did not respond. It was the AAC and maybe Labour Party that managed to release statement. And when we released statement, APC chairman said, they were not talking to Lagosians, not talking to their people. You release a public statement and you're talking to your people. So the LASIEC of today is basically just the LASIEC of yesterday. New face as the commission power and all that, those are commissioners or appointed permanent secretary, whatever. But it's just the same process. And it's a disappointment as we are going to this election.
Now, so let me get clarification. Your party at this point in time, will they be holding elections? So will your party be holding elections in just 20 states, 20 local governments, or including the 37? Will you be fielding candidates in all of this?
Okay, so it's a crucial time for us because the AAC virtually has been the one standing and upholding what the Supreme Court judgment said and the constitution of the country through our press release, press statement, And we even had a semi-protest at our House of Assembly, including the press conference. So it's not going to speak well for us because we just want our people to go into election and say we are going to invite candidates for that position. Most likely, I'm going to tell you that there's going to be an official release, definitely by the party through the SEC. But most likely the APC, if they decide to go against the law of the country, we're definitely going to boycott the LCDA. Somebody has to speak, somebody has to stand, and most likely that's what the AAC will do. But the press statement is going to make it more elaborate, explain to Lagosian and Nigerians why we are doing this at this crucial time.
Now, the 1999 Constitution, as amended, mandates democratic and periodic elections at the local government level.
Yes.
However, concerns persist about the irregularities and delays, as you have clearly outlined.
Yeah.
Now, what step should be taken, or are you demanding that should be taken at this point in time by the Legislature government in order to ensure credible and timely elections?
Thank you very much. I think the answer is what steps should have been taken. Because knowing that they are not an effective government, if they start those steps now, obviously it's going to be 100%. But let's assume that the Lagos State government wants to be wise, because I don't see this as a wise government. What is the step that should be taken? The 1999 Constitution is clear that 776 local governments is recognized in this country. 20 for Lagos. Very clear. You can't go and form another local government. That is impunity. That is lawlessness. If you want to do that, not through your state house of assembly, it has to be at the level of the Senate. The Supreme Court judgment has also made it stronger by telling you this is it. Follow it. What the Lagos State government should be doing and what the executive should be reminding the House of Assembly to do is to take that Supreme Court judgment and look at the existing law and remove the legal laws and pass bill into their law that will make sure that we have 20 local government functioning. Don't give us an excuse that SADs have been created. The 20 local governments are functioning. We go and manage those infrastructures. They don't need to be an LCDA chairman. That is what they should be doing. Also, the funds that are sent by the federal to the state to hand over to the local government they are not given to the state because the property of the state. They are just a branch, a process to give them to reduce cost of logistics. That is what is in the law. So therefore, the funds as is sent to Lagos State government every month should be transferred to the 20 local governments, not 37 and the rest. That is basically what they should do, so that the local government can have full autonomy. They can function by themselves, so that people will know you have to choose your local government chairman more responsibly, not choosing thugs and people that will just go and mess up the money. And let's even assume you choose wrong people. You have councillors that are lawmakers in local government that can sit and decide the fate of that people. Simple. Lagos State government has been dancing around these simple issues and it's sad in our democracy.
Many experts argue that a constitutional amendment like guaranteeing local government autonomy is crucial, which you have rightly pointed out. You support full autonomy of local governments.
Yes.
And earlier on, you mentioned the facts about the funding and budget. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Now, if I may ask, how should this be structured?
Okay. So, yes, what I've said is not as simple as that, because there's a local government commission. So, as the state governors have their commissions that are managing the budgets and every planning. That is exactly what should be going on in local governments, so that things can be properly monitored and structured. What the state government should do is to in a way, let's say supervise, not supervising in sense of control, but allow them to work. So you have the resources and you have the guidelines. This is how we do it. Local government will not be doing like that. Now let's just pass this guideline to you. This is how you are going to manage your commission. It is what they're supposed to do. Civil servants should be the one doing all those things and making it work, just as we have in the state. But the problem is that the state governors want to be controlling the affairs of the local government, so that they can continue to win the election for themselves as a governor or for their party. So presently now, there are some local government chairman in Lagos that want it to happen. Not because of they understand that law or because of they also want to operate with, but because the state governors have been using the LCDA chairman to undermine their authority. That's all. So it is not going to be something that the law will pass and we are going to have 20 elections and the LCDAs and as the local government, and people will just go and sleep. The people need to rise up. That local government themselves need to be held accountable. As we are calling the governors and all that, the easiest person for you to call is your local government leaders who should be living in the local government. Some of them are not living there. So these are the process. We are telling the Lagosians, is not telling you that, oh, after that election and they do it, oh, everything's going to be smooth. No, there's a process we must follow and must allow it to happen. Build our local government and build it right.
Critics say that the lack of autonomy has led to low citizen participation and weakened opposition parties at the local level. How can state governments encourage greater participation and political competition?
Thank you very much. It's absurd, very absurd, when we have local government election and the APC or PDP, whichever state, are taking 19, 18 or all. Why? How? They are not performing. In the last election in Lagos, 2 parties managed to win 2 seats. Guess what? After 2 weeks, they were brought over to the APC because actually, indeed, it was a game. Okay, just give us this position, please. Let us just win. That's what they do. People negotiate for positions at the local government. So the state government, I must say to Nigerians, and I always like to be sincere, the government of APC cannot do these things. They are not interested. But how can this be done? This will be done if, first, the laws that will allow LASIEC to give us a credible election are passed, because we have 2 problems now. We have organizing the wrong election, and we also have the problem of election that is not credible. They won't come to some places, they won't bring electoral materials to some places, they will overstamp some places. It's so terrible. You know. So if that law is not passed, that will strengthen the people, you know, and strengthen the umpires themselves, there's no way there will be free and fair election at that level. That's one. 2, the people themselves, which is the ultimate power, need to rise up and take over their local government. Yes, the fact that they see that there's so much corruption and there's no autonomy in local government has dissuaded a lot of people away from the politics at that level. But we have to appeal to Nigerians that if you allow the corruption and the injustice of these people to continue to turn you away, it's not going to turn you away from the suffering that will come out from it. So you have to rise up in your local. In fact, having said that they need to pass that law, let's assume they do not pass the law. And we have over 200,000 people coming out in each local government to participate in election, standing by their vote. There's no talk that will stop you from choosing the right leader. All you need to do is to come. And in Lagos, there is no local government that do not have over 400,000 people. Agege alone, there are almost 900,000 people. Alimosho is millions. You know, so imagine if half of Agege decide to come out, half of Alimosho decide to come out. How many talks will stand and stop our process from going smoothly? So you will vote the right people and you will be able to hold them accountable. That's the solution.
Let me circle back a bit on the issue of laws and passing of bills. What role do you see the legislature, both at the federal and at the state level, in creating a strong legal framework for credible local government elections?
Thank you very much. These legislators are failing Nigerians. Instead of them to pass these laws as you have asked, they are just basically just defending their own title, their own corner, their own pocket. Look at it this way. Over the years, consistently, we have all complained, including the party that is there today when they were rigging them out, when PDP was really legal, that the local government elections are not credible. Every governor that find a way to enter, while he was not governor, he complained. Fayese has complained, Fayeme has complained, all those past governors, Aregbesola when he was governor, Yetola today, they have all complained of the terrible state of local, but he's still yet. When you get to power, instead of you to now make sure that there's a strong framework for it, they won't do it. And what should be done? What are we talking about? Proper election materials. Election materials that the people will understand. Proper security at the polling unit so that you'll be confident to vote. If there are places where rigging is done, there are structures to make sure that that election is rerun. Why are we rushing? Why are we rushing? In the last election, they postponed. Everyone did not fall. They postponed. One of the election, either presidential or the one of the governorship.
It was the president.
So if there's rigging, why LASIEC rushing? When there's rigging, they just quickly announce. Why? There should be a framework. Oh, there was rigging at Jeremy. What happened? The security give their update. And there's a law that says, okay, when there's rigging, this is what to do. You rerun the election. Everything done perfectly. When the legislator pass those laws and make sure that it's implemented, everybody will know that even if you rig in this place, there's a solution to your rigging. And when the adequate security, when policemen will come to police units without ammunitions, they'll just sit down and it's easy to carry. But when they are going for protests, we see them with all the ammunitions in the country. So the legislators are failing because those guys are not lawmakers for the people. They are lawmakers for themselves, their party, and their pockets. And it's so sad.
Some argue that state interference in local governments has actually limited developments at that level.
Yeah.
And you've spoken a lot about reforms. What further reforms do you think are needed at this point in time to strengthen the effectiveness of local governments?
Thank you very much. When the law is accepted and passed, and you choose your leaders, then your reforms can now work. So, if Lagos government refuse to do the right thing, no matter the reforms that have been passing all over the years, nothing will be done. And what is needed to be done in the local government? The local government is the closest place. That's where the people live, actually. So, as I'm stepping out of my house, there should be law that will allow that to make sure that all my roads are tied. If you go to the United States, to their lowest local village, their roads are tied to their doorsteps. Our roads are so bad. The law should be passed. How many roads have been done in local government? How many will be done? What law is stamping it? What are we going to do to someone that refused to do those roads? The drainage system in the local level. The one managing the waste bin in the local level. Or the people cleaning the local level. Primary health center in the local level. Those are the reforms that should be done. Oh, this time around, there's need to do 200 more, 300 more. All these things, when you have pushed the law, have allowed us to vote in our leaders that we want, those reforms will be able to work. But when you jump that and you just read out reform, nothing will be done.
Finally, any final thoughts for Nigerians and Lagosians, basically, on the importance of this the forthcoming local government elections, as well as governance, especially in Lagos State?
I will appeal to Lagosians, and it's very paramount for them to understand that as the African National Congress is using the strength of revolting, because we know the kind of people that we are dealing with who don't obey the law, we have appeals to them to also apply that method. If they find it hard to do, they should join those that can do it. If we are going to get anything significant for this local government election, it's through revolting. This is February, almost ended. Election by July, you have not passed the law. We have done 3 public hearings. You have not passed the law. You are distracting us with an Obasa and Abiola, or whatever the name of the lady is, just distracting Lagosians. LASIEC is not ready. House of Assembly is not ready. People are just confused. So by April, you just do something and we'll head on to election. But regardless, if they do not obey the law, if we are going to get anything right, no matter how small, we have to revolt at the local level. Revolution stops all nonsense. That's what I would say to Lagosians.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.